Could we be a bit more? Oh. What do we do? Do we just leave it? Okay, it's fine. So, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It kind of feels dark now, huh? We'll go back the other way. Yeah, we'll stay over there. Okay, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is a filler video, but it is something that I have been wanting to talk about, and so let's get into it. So today we are in my bedroom because I'm finally back in my bedroom and my kids are awake, which means I can't record in my very, very open study library area because guess what? They'll be there. Okay, anyways, so you know that feeling when you walk out of a bookstore and you're like, I'm so proud of myself, I did the thing, I succeeded, and like now whatever this thing is that I've taken with me is my new personality. Like, do you ever have that feeling? And then those same books stare at you, even whether or not you read them, they're just staring at you for months and maybe years. And then you're like, wow, that was like $19. That was like $34 because books are expensive. And yeah, so anyway, I've been going through a lot of my books and most of them I don't feel that way about, but there is like a nice little chunk of books I've been thinking about from that particular standpoint, and I'm like, I think I have buyer's remorse. So I thought I would take some time to confess these 6 books. Is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, these 6 books that I regret buying. And yes, so welcome to my buyer's remorse shelf, I guess. This is controversial, so we'll just jump in. We'll start with the selection. Now, don't come for me, okay? If you liked it, please don't come for me. It's not that I didn't like the idea of it. I was thinking it was gonna be like Hunger Games meets The Bachelor. I was thinking it was going to be like super exciting, and actually somebody recommended this to me who I didn't really know well, but I knew that she liked to read, and that was enough for me. And so when I picked this up, I was super duper duper excited to read it, and then I couldn't get past like chapter 1. And now I know what you're gonna say, like I am not the best person at these days with the attention span at like continuing forward after I picked up a book and like put it down, even if it was like I was having a great moment with it. Like if I put it down, it's gonna collect dust. But this book, legitimately, I put all of my other books down and only paid attention to this for like a week. And nothing happened. Like nothing happened. I felt no spark. I felt no chemistry. And I don't know, I was just kind of let down by I can't even say what it was. And now I'm looking at it and like all of them are like, all of the other books are so pretty, and I'm like, should I just try again? If you think I should try it again, you just let me know. But as of now, this is number 1 on my buyer's remorse list, probably because I had super high expectations, because every person who I follow who's like into a little bit of romance has enjoyed this. So, okay, number 2, we're continuing to be super duper controversial. We're being controversial still. Kiera by Stephanie Garber. Again, please don't come for me. And I am definitely open to the fact that I just didn't read enough of it. I only got to page 32, but there is something about certain kinds of YA that just don't work for me. And I don't know what it was. I was expecting magical and twisty, and the setup seemed pretty good, but also I don't know how interested in games that I am. Like I'm really enjoying the Hunger Games. I know I was supposed to be finished already, but I am almost done. I'm really, really enjoying the Hunger Games, but the way that they set up the angst, I buy into it more in the Hunger Games than I do here. I don't care about the sisters, and that's why I can't get past page 32. I don't care about the sisters. I don't care about anything that's going on. It feels less like the Night Circus vibes and more like Disney Channel. And I love Disney Channel. But I also recognize that I'm deeply emotionally connected to Disney Channel because I experienced it first as a youth. And everything that I experience now with Disney is pure nostalgia. And so I feel like if I had read this as a younger person, or like jumped on the bandwagon, even if the book, like when the book was super fresh, there's a chance I could have loved it so hard. But right now it's just reading too young for me, and there's no depth to the characters, or at least not the depth I'm looking for. Again, if you think I should read it and give it another try, like, just tell me, it's fine. But as of now, I'm just like, I look at it every so often because I also have, this is the only one in this trilogy that I have, but I have the duology, like the Ballad of Never After or whatever. I have that duology and I haven't read it. And I might read it because people do say they can be read independently, but I look at that duology and then I think about this book and I'm like, ugh, I spent so much money on these books and I haven't read any of them. And I'm not somebody who is like, I don't have to read the books that I buy immediately. That's not who I am at all. But it's like, I don't even have a desire to read this book. At least with my other books, I look at them and I'm like, oh, I want you someday for sure. And like, I don't feel that love with this. Okay, this is another category, I guess, of books. And this is like, I don't know what I would call it. But they're just, okay, we'll just get into it. So the next book on my buyer's remorse list is Convenience Store Woman. And this book, I don't know what to say about this. I was told it was quirky brilliance. I was told it was, you know, a slice of life. And I really instead got some sort of weird, what would you call it? Like existential dread. I don't know, it was an interesting moment. I finished it and I closed it immediately and I was like, I need to lay down somewhere. I need to cleanse myself. I don't know what it was about this book specifically. You know what it is? And this will probably come up for the next one as well. I don't know if I like weird girl fiction. I think that I like literary fiction, and I think there's and we've talked about this before, there's a line where it leaves lit fic or it stays lit fic, but it morphs into something strange that I don't understand, but worse, I don't want to understand, and like that's awful. But like Convenience Store Woman, I couldn't stop reading it, but I hated everybody the whole time. I hated that guy, that roommate boyfriend guy. Oh, he was awful, but I guess everybody probably hated him. I hated her family. I hated like at least half of her coworkers, and I almost hated her the majority of the time. I was like, I don't know. I like complicated characters, and I like people who I can root for even if they're awful. And I just didn't have any reason to root for anybody in here. And so I was just like, what are we doing here? And it's like I was just standing in a strange place looking all around me and nobody told me where I was or why I was there. And it was confusing. Yeah. Okay. Next I want to talk about a book I've talked about a lot, which is The Love Haters. And I have to say, I've never read Katherine Center before, and so I don't know what I'm supposed to expect from her, but I didn't like the main character, and the banter was kind of weird and forced, and when they started liking each other, it was like super random. And okay, I feel like I have to say, like, the books that I have not finished, this is not a book I finished. The only book I finished that I've talked about so far is Convenience Store Woman. I feel like, Convenience Store Woman. I haven't finished anything so far in those three, but Convenience Store Woman. This one I did not finish either. I got like 40% into it, and I even switched over to the audio for a little bit to see if like that would help me, and I just didn't like them. I also didn't like the way that bodies are spoken about in this book. And like that was a little weird because I don't know how to I don't know how to talk about that, but I just didn't like the way bodies happened here. And it's not like a Katherine Center thing. It's like a what's bothering me in this. It's like a me. It's a Kayla thing, like for sure. I don't know. But that's fine. It is what it is. It just didn't land for me. I really need angst in my kind of emotional romance books. I need like angst. And I feel like here I didn't get that. I think I would have liked her more. Okay, I'm gonna just undo everything I already said about Caraval, but I would like her more if she was a teenager. Like, I feel like if she were instead, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, I feel like the relationship in Eleanor and Park was more mature, like, and had more emotional depth than this one that was developing. And that's what I'm looking for. And I feel like if this was a young adult instead and the people were a little bit younger, I think I'd like it more. I really think I would. If you think I should read it, let me know. You know what we might do? I know that like nobody comments on my videos, but you know what might be cute is if like you guys like a vote or something for the one I should read. Should I do like a little vote in the community situation thing? Maybe I should. I think it would be fun to see which one you guys think I should try based off of, what you've already read. Maybe we should do that. Like, even if like 2 people tell me, I'll do it. I swear. I promise. Okay. Second to last book is Temporary. This one was actually I liked Temporary. Kind of. I read the whole thing. That was so out of the 4 books, there's 5 books so far. I've read 2 fully. I feel like maybe this book was just too smart for me, like legitimately, because I think I missed the metaphor. I think I missed the the underlying message here. I took a lot of little like it's funny. Maybe I'm just mad at this book because I'm looking at it again. I took so many notes and I underlined so many things. Like when she's telling her boyfriend, her name is Hilary, I think. Is her name Hilary? Oh wait, no, she might not have a name. Oh, the name Hilary is the person who wrote the book. Anyways, the protagonist says to her boyfriend, "My dream job is a job that stays." And she's had this interesting, like, weird life where things kind of were not very stable. There's another line where she's talking to herself and she says, "I listened for a tune or a bell or another oblique sign that I had been granted permanence." And so she's like looking for kind of something to belong to, something that sticks, something that lasts. I don't know. There's this man in there. I don't know. Am I changing my mind? You know what it is? Okay, she says this other thing. "The thing I admire about the anthropods is the way they live in small, crispy houses and cement their houses to sturdy spots for good. When and if they break away, the foundation of the house stays put. So strong is their natural adhesive." Okay, so it's interesting, but there's something there that didn't land for me. You know what it was? It was just outrageous. It was just so outrageous. And I think I've told you guys before that I'm not a huge magical realism fan. I'm just gonna adjust because my leg feels weird. I'm not a huge magical realism fan. It's funny because I like Toni Morrison and I like Ocean Vuong, and I do think that elements of like just being on the cusp at least of magical realism like are pervasive in their work, and so maybe it's like I like a little bit more realism in my magical realism. I don't know, but there's something about this book that crossed the line of moved into the weird girl fiction that I keep talking about, and I don't know why. It's just never sat right with me. It kind of like makes me feel a little weird. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But for whatever reason, this surreal, dreamlike style of writing, outside of like some of the lines, because I did underline a lot of lines, like the lines themselves I loved, but I didn't love the framework that those lines kind of sat within. And I hope that that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but if it does, I hope it does. I don't know. Okay, and this is the last book. And this one was actually not bad. It was really good. This is called The Five. And this is the subtitle, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. We read this in a book club when I was a teacher. It was like a teacher book club. And I actually enjoyed it. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just I went in with, I should have had different expectations when I went into the book. I expected for this to be a bit more exciting, a bit more enticing, and it read more so like biographies, like mini biographies of each of these women and what their lives were like before Jack the Ripper killed them. And it's like, you know how when you're reading a true crime you know how when you're like listening to a true crime podcast and they talk about the victims in like a really dynamic way and talk about what their interests were and like kind of just bring some life into them? Well, you do get a lot about what their life was like, but it's so bleak and it's so negative. Yeah, it's so bleak and it's so negative, and there's like no positive spin at all, like nothing in their life, not even like things that they really enjoyed or talked about. It's mostly like, yeah, they drank a lot and they like it, there's just not a lot of depth to the people themselves in the way that it's written. And I have to believe that there is more there because they're people. And so, yeah. So this is, yeah, it's the stories that these are supposed to reclaim their humanity instead of focusing on the murder, but it's just slow. And I just was not in the right headspace for it when I was reading it. I did finish it, but it wasn't the most enjoyable experience. So out of the 6 books I talked about, I only read 3, which is funny. I read these guys, which means that the ones that I would consider finishing are these guys. Okay, so yes, I think I had a couple more notes. Yeah, so sometimes buyer's remorse isn't about quality necessarily. It's about, in the case of at least these 2, no, in the case of all 3 of them, it's about timing. And you know, you buy something and you're thinking that you're in the mood and you're just not in that mood. And so, yeah. So making this video kind of made me realize that half of my buyer's remorse comes from like fantasy shopping for a version of myself. So like when I bought Temporary, for example, I was like, I'm mysterious, she's literary, she, you know. And then when I went and got Caravel, I was feeling whimsical and adventurous, but also like I was feeling, what's the word? Like FOMO, because all of the girls were just like so into Caravel and I wanted to be into Caravel too. And I don't know. I just don't know what it is, but that's okay, because buying books and book reading are like 2 different things, right? And they're 2 different hobbies. One's retail therapy, which I feel like isn't that expensive compared to other forms of retail therapy. And the other one's like self-discovery. And so they're just 2 different things, and that's fine. So yeah, anyway, so these are the 6 books that I kind of regret buying These are the 6 books I kind of regret buying. Some because of timing, some because I let the hype kind of get to me, and yeah, that's it. Okay, and then just, yes, if you are like me, just let me know that I'm not alone in this, and let me know that I'm not the only person who has buyer's remorse over all of the books that they bought and didn't love, even if they finished them, or just didn't finish at all. And yeah, let me know, and let me know if you think I should read one of the ones that I didn't finish. And also, I'm thinking I might do a 6 books I'm glad I didn't DNF next time instead, so we can, you know, keep it positive as well. But I think that's all I have, so thanks so much for being here, and yes, leave likes, comments, and all of that. And if you like it here, then, you know, subscribe. I'm now going to sit still for 3 to 5 seconds while I take a picture for this thumbnail.